everyone, Ryan Young, KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu. Hope you're doing well. Oh, as you can see, it's a bright and early morning, about 8:30 in the morning, mid-April on a Sunday. Nice and quiet here in Dallas, Texas. Anyway, let's talk about. I've gotten a number of inquiries about people who are just kind of frustrated, sad, demoralized, angry, whatever you want to call it, because they're not really able to train all that much because their state may be in lockdown, and even states that aren't in a real lockdown, they might have restrictions, and especially some of the larger schools, they're kind of afraid to open, because you get into this this mindset where you're so conditioned. People, they're law-abiding citizens, by and large, and they want to kind of follow the rules and stuff. You remember, I don't know if you remember the interview I did with two close friends of mine from Hawaii, the O2 Academy in Hawaii, and they've got a large academy, and they're having to do the old social distancing, and people training only with family members, and if you don't have a family member to train with, then you're just going to train with a training dummy, right? And those of us who've been in jiu-jitsu for years, that's not a really satisfying experience. However, if you started with this, then yeah, you don't know any better, you don't know any different, then you're not really going to be all that. You're just going to kind of take it the way it is. It's not a big deal because you don't know any better. So but a lot of people have been training since, say, 2019 and before, and they know that it's different, and they want something different. They want what they used to have. We all want what we used to have. Fortunately, in some places, it's kind of like a new normal. It's do we try to go back to what we were, or do we just accept what the new reality? And it's kind of a, if you're in one of those places where it's a new reality, then you're going to have to adapt. If you're not going to just, outright just fight the power, right? And you're just going to, have to figure something out. What I would think about doing when people ask me is that, first of all, you can't be one of those that just gains 40, 50, 60, 80 pounds, because you're not active anymore. You have to find something to do, even if it's just like walking around here. This is beautiful. And get some fresh air into your body, get your body moving, and when you're done with the walk, pick it up, do some jump squats, do some push-ups. If you don't want to catch anything, which we never really do, but just do stuff on your own. Bodyweight exercises are some of the best exercises around, and I learned that taking Helson's class, and then learning from Hickson and Dave Kama. We do bodyweight exercises here at KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu, and most of our guys are in incredible shape, and they're just regular guys, regular professional guys that are in incredible shape because of jiu-jitsu. But the bodyweight exercises that we do, and you got guys that lose 10 pounds in a month, and 20, 30 pounds over 6 months, and you have guys that are down 40 pounds over the course of a year or two, and they keep it off. It's a new lifestyle for them, and that's one of the more attractive things about jiu-jitsu, is how it becomes part of your life, and how the changes that you learn to make in jiu-jitsu end up staying with you forever. And when you have it stopped and you can't do it anymore, that's when things go pretty bad. Psychologically, we kind of get all thrown off in our mindset. How come I can't train? And or it could be, some people think that they can't do it because the powers that be say you can't, and others don't do it because they don't want to. They want to be safe, right? And the funny thing is, if you think logically, I'm 53 now. Actually, I will be 53. And I've been doing what I've been doing for all this time. Most of you, because we know our YouTube demographic, most of you are somewhere between 18 and 35. So not quite as old as me. or Master Dave for that matter. And we've been able to do just fine and thrive without having to worry about anything. So think about that for a sec. But, that was just kind of like a tangent I went off on. But when you want to train at your house, right? What did the apostles do? For those of you who are Christian, I'm not trying to push it on you or anything. I'm just kind of tell you how things went. When the Roman state was coming after the Christians, they couldn't gather. So what they would do, they would just meet in homes, right? Happens in other places right now too, right? Christian faith, meet in homes. They're not meeting in churches or in establishments. They meet in homes. So you want to train? I've always had mats at my house. I've had mats at my house since 1994. Almost 30 years continuously. Master Dave, same way. Why? Because I had it because, wherever I trained Jiu-Jitsu, they were owned by other people. And I always had to drive far to train. It wasn't where I could just, go right down the street like it is right now. A lot of people, they have it so convenient. They're just right down the street and they can train. But for me, no. I had to go 30, 40 miles to go and train. And depending on traffic, it could be an hour. So when people... Dog doesn't like me. So when people complain now about how far Jiu-Jitsu is, or when people tell me, hey, Ryan, I really like training, but the drive is just killing me, and I'm gonna have to quit. And it's like, okay, right? I'm like, whatever. It's just, I don't get upset about it, but I just think to myself, shoot, you don't even know what a drive is, for Jiu-Jitsu, right? Try being where there's only one school. You got Gracie Torrance in Torrance, California. You got Hickson's up in West LA, and for me, that was it. I had no other place to go, and I lived in Gardena. I lived in Torrance. I lived in Gardena, and I lived in the San Gabriel Valley. So sorry, I'm just trying to find where the sun is not, but I feel like most people watching on YouTube just go ahead and put the phone down and listen to it. Hopefully the sound is going well. I have to kind of point myself to the camera because I have a mic right here, so I'm trying to talk into the mic. But the thing is, don't let anybody stop you from training. If you can't train in a studio, train at your house. Okay, well, Ryan, I don't have a training partner. Okay, well, make a training partner, right? A lot of you have kids, or, for, 97% of you are men, obviously. I see our numbers on YouTube as well. But get your spouse involved, because why? Jiu-Jitsu is really most beneficial to women, children, and even men of smaller stature. It's like if you think of dogs, right? Everybody talks about the pit bull and how the pit bull is such a maligned dog breed, right? I love pit bulls, by the way. And, because you always hear these stories about how when a pit bull bites, right? How it's so bad. But, the truth be told, little dogs like Chihuahuas, and they bite more than freaking pit bulls do. Right? There's a higher incidence of a bite with a Chihuahua than a pit bull. But the problem with the pit bull, and like the problem, with Jiu-Jitsu and an athlete, right? Somebody who's big, strong, fast, that kind of stuff. You teach Jiu-Jitsu to them, it takes them, to the next level, right? It's like a pit bull. If you make a pit bull vicious, then it'll be like magnified vicious, right? But really what Jiu-Jitsu is for the Chihuahuas in us. So that we can, we're the smaller people, so that we can not necessarily even the score, but at least we have the tools that we need to defend ourselves against an aggressor who may or may not be, a fighter, right? But, if they're not a fighter, then, then the Jiu-Jitsu is what pushes you over the top and gives you the ability to feel confident. But that's really what women need. That's what children need, and that's what people of smaller stature need, right? Like the Gracie family before the second generation. They weren't big people. You know, if you hear that, I'm sorry. That's just a car detailer here in the neighborhood. So get some mats. Mats aren't that expensive. I guess they can be, depending on what kind of mats you want to buy. You know, I just had those mats that they were folding mats. They had Velcro on the edges, and I just unfolded them, attached them. You know, for the longest time, I had 2 pieces, and they were 5 by 10. Yeah, and then eventually I bought a 3rd piece, and mine were, I think, 2 inches thick, because they were on concrete in the garage. You know, if you go with the 1 1/4, 1 1/2, you know, the thinner ones, then you're not going to be able to do throws. All you're going to be doing is rolling, which is fine and dandy. But if jiu-jitsu is for self-defense, you're going to have to practice taking people down, throwing people, getting thrown, because if somebody hassles you in a street fight, they're going to be bigger than you, and they're going to slam you, or they're going to find a way to throw you on the ground. You're going to have to practice base. You're going to have to, you know, practice all the what ifs. You know, you're going to have to let yourself get thrown. So get some mats for yourself that are thick enough, cushion enough to where you won't be discouraged every time it's time to practice taking falls. Now, what do you practice? Well, get a good curriculum online. You know, you can find a lot of stuff online these days that'll teach you pretty much any aspect of jiu-jitsu. And, you know, they say, well, I'm a wrestler. Well, wrestling is fine too. You know, wrestling and grappling, and, you know, grappling in general. So look, you have a grappling category, and wrestling falls under that, catch wrestling falls under that, jiu-jitsu falls under that, judo falls under that, sambo, you know, MMA has parts of it. But, you know, just realize that, you know, grappling is just a type of, I guess, fighting. And each different martial art just has a few little tweaks that they do, different rule set, just to kind of, you know, and then the techniques that develop really are based on the rule set. But, you know, even if you just were to practice wrestling takedowns, you know, but you had a buddy that you could work on that with, you know, that's fun to you. You do that, you know, or you want to do, you know, judo takedowns, you know, do that. You know, and all these people who say, well, you know, it's all with no gi, you know, gis are bullshit because nobody wears suits these days. You know, come on, right? You know, if you guys want to see what, you know, the grabbing of material, the value of it, go check on Google and just type African woman judo. And you're going to see this woman. She looks like she's in, I don't know. I don't know what it looked like as far as where, but it looked to me like it was in Africa somewhere. And this woman had beautiful judo. She did a right-handed grip, left-handed drop seonagi. I know it sounds confusing, but yeah, she didn't turn as if she were right-handed. She turned as if she was a left-hander, but she did it with a right-hand lead. But she did it grabbing a guy's t-shirt, right? So, you know, all you naysayers that come out and say everything's no gi, it's like bullshit. Come on, just, you know, we don't walk around the street naked. And wearing rash guards and freaking spats everywhere, right? So here I am. I'm wearing, you know, the old KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu sweatshirt, yeah, hoodie, beautiful, huh? Check it out, right? I don't know if I can get to the back, but anyway, so, you know, and this is pretty strong. I mean, you know, it could be used in a fight all day long. So learn something that online or get some DVDs, or do people have DVDs these days? I don't know. And, you know, learn something that you can do, and grab a friend and do it, and get a little club going, a small group going, and practice this. You know, even go to KAATARO.com. You know, we've got our entire curriculum on there. Well, most of it is on there now. More of it gets put on there every week, as you know, we process videos that Master Dave Kama has done for us. But, you know, the white to blue curriculum, which is probably a good 70% of what you need to know, you know, none of the good to know stuff, it's all the need to know stuff is there. And you can do that with your family member, you can do it with your buddy next door, you know, and if you want to progress You can test, right? Each module, you can take a test after it, do a quick video going through all the techniques in the module, and then send us a link through the system, and we evaluate it. We come back, pass fail, you get your certificate, you move on to the next module. You can do that for all 6 modules. Now, if you decide that you really like it, you like the way we do things, and you want to become a KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu blue belt, then that we have to test in person, right? So maybe we'll be out in your area, or maybe you just come out to us. We have people come out to us all the time to get themselves tested, and that's something that we love to do, because now we get to meet you guys, right? And we get to see how well we're doing in spreading the art of KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu, or Rickson Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, right? And truth be told, the person who in recent times, because we don't, testing has not been a big thing for us, as many of you know, in our academy, because we try to get to know our members and their training, so that we don't have to actually have a formal testing time for people, and that also kind of puts pressure on people to pass, and and then there's money involved, and it's just such a pain. But for people who are online members and who come out to us, then yeah, we have to kind of test you, right? So unfortunately, that's kind of the way it has to be done. But our best, I think about our members and how well they know the material, and I look at our online members and what the potential is, right? Because everybody says, oh, you have to learn at an academy, you can't do this online, and I'm not so sure anymore. I do believe that having an instructor right there for you is always the best situation. But if you learned on something like KAATARO Jiu-Jitsu online, would it not be a good thing for you? No, I think it'll be a great thing, because my highest scoring student is from the online side. Out of maybe, I don't know, in the test, maybe 180 to 200 different concepts he had to know to finalize on the white to blue belt, he probably missed 2. Yeah, 2. And they were minor misses. They were like, he forgot to step his left foot first. And once I go, no, your left foot first, and then the rest of it was there. He knew it. And I was very, very pleased. I mean, it does provide some happy change of heart issues with me, because I've always been of the thought that you can't really learn jiu-jitsu online. But I'm happily surprised that, yes, if you're diligent and this is something you want to do, just like right now in training, when you're locked down or restricted, don't let something stop you, right? Look for the reasons to do something rather than the reasons not to do something. And I know a lot of people are in the mindset of, I can't do this, I can't do that, and how can I do this? Just get it done. Find ways around it. If you're presented with a hurdle and you can't go over it, figure out ways to go around it or under it, right? Don't let that stop you. So, in summary here, sorry, just random thoughts while I'm talking to you guys, because I kind of feel comfortable in doing that, and hopefully, I get a lot of people telling me that they kind of like the way that the videos are done, and fortunately, I don't know how to do it any other way. But in summary, if you're looking to get back into it and you cannot, for whatever reason, or you have not been able to because you're trying to be a good law-abiding person who cares about other people as well, and you've been staying away from people, but you're sick and tired of it, just go out and get some exercise like I just finished doing. Walk around and finish your walk around with some calisthenics, some body weight exercise, okay? But let's say you want to get back into jiu-jitsu, or you want to get into jiu-jitsu, then get yourself some mats, or if you've got a friend that has some mats, tell them, hey, how about you and we subscribe to this online academy and we train together at your place. Or what if money's an issue? Well, why don't you guys just kind of pool your money together and buy the mats that way? You could get a good maybe 12 by 12 or a 10 by 10 for, I don't know, $400, maybe 500 on the high end. And right, that's what, 3-4 months of tuition, right? Then after that, it's paid for, right? So if you each put $100 in, you know, there's 5 guys get the money together, and maybe it's at somebody's house, right? And the one who has that at his house, maybe just kind of over time, just pay the rest of the guys off, right? So then at the end of the day, they'll be your mats, right? But you don't have 500 now, but you know you'll have 500 over the course of the year. Then get them to put 100 in, and they all train, and you know, because they helped you get the mats, then you know, then they're your training partners, right? Because they want to do it too. And find yourself a good online academy to be a member of, one that will hold you accountable, one that will put you on a path to success, not one that just throws a whole bunch of techniques at you. Because you know, if you have all these techniques thrown at you, what are you going to do? You're going to watch all the techniques, you're going to try them all, and you'll never get good at anything, or you'll do the ones that are the most comfortable to you, right? And you know, we know that jiu-jitsu success has to do with putting yourself in places of discomfort. And you know, keep coming back to our videos, and you know, if you haven't already, if this is the first time seeing one of our videos, go back and look at the old videos. And Karma, you know, our video guy, Karma and Beth are 2 video people. They were telling me to redo some of the old videos because you know, there's some new thought processes in mind, but it's just the same concept, and you know, I'd love to do them. So anyway, I hope that kind of helped you kind of get back in the mindset of getting back into training, you know, because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? Picked up 20, 30, 40 pounds or whatever. You know, during the whole lockdown period, I didn't pick up a pound. And the reason is because, like I told you earlier, I have mats in my house, so I always had people coming over to train. So anyway, I hope that kind of helped to illuminate things for you, as I always hope to do. And I hope you can get back to training. And if you have any questions, go and shoot in the comments below. Shoot your question in the comments below. And also come and visit us for a free trial over at KAATARO.com. Anyway, like and subscribe. And if this helped you, then, you know, if you're here for this long, just go ahead and like it. Yeah, hit the like button. And if it helped you, go ahead and share it with somebody. You know, I'd really appreciate that. Anyway, we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Happy training. Bye now.